Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lucinda Calhoun. I'm here to discuss with you how published articles or published works help build your resume or your curricular vitae. At some point in our lives, we all are tasked with building a resume to secure employment. Whether we are securing new employment or we're transferring to a different employer, we want to ensure that our resume stands out and apart from other resumes that prospective employers are reviewing. The purpose of a resume or a curricular vitae is not only to explain a narrative of who we are, but is also to convey our accomplishment to prospective employers. When prospective employers look at our resume, we want our resumes to jump out and say to them, hey, why not pick me? With keeping this in mind, we want to make sure our resume demonstrates professional achievement, in addition to the relevant information that's already on our resume. We do this by means of publication. Publications are important in your career. It can be competitive, however, it allows you to compete against others in your field who are also researching and reporting. In doing so, it signifies to the employer that you know what you're doing, you know what you're writing about, and it also signifies to the employer that you have the ability to advance your career to the next level. Potential employers see this as a plus because it takes a lot of courage to publish an article, and he or she knows that you are confident in doing so. Now, when it comes to format of the articles, there are a number of ways you can publish an article, down to magazine articles, internet articles, newspaper article, column articles. It's pretty much your choice. But most prospective employers view print articles a little bit more prestigious, not to say that articles that are not published in print, maybe like a magazine, are non-essential, but it just looks a little bit more attractive to prospective employers. They see your name in print, they see this pretty prestigious magazine that you've written this article in, so it just looks a little bit more attractive to them. But by all means, especially if you're first starting out with writing an article, and this is your first job and the only article that you've written and you published was maybe in a school newspaper or some sort, that's fine. Still list it. If that's all you have, list it anyway, because in the end, it's up to the employer, your prospective employer, to determine if that's what they're looking for. And again, it gives them a general sense. It gives them an idea of what it is that you're writing about. It gives them an idea of what your writing is like. So it doesn't matter. Just make sure you list it, whichever it may be. But when you do list your article, especially if you're transferring to another job and you have written an article pertaining to your field of specialty, make sure that that article that you list in your resume, make sure it's relevant to the job in which you are seeking. You don't want to publish you don't want to submit or cite an article on your resume that has nothing to do with the area in which you're applying for. But again, if you're entering maybe a college student, fresh out of college, this is your first time job, and all you have is an article that you published in the school newspaper or the school's magazine, then by all means list it, because you're just now getting out into the career world. Now, as far as citing, how you cite your article on your resume will depend solely upon, I think most of the time it's either APA or MLA style, but depending on what type of print it is, whether it's a magazine or it's a newspaper, it'll all be listed differently. Just depends on what print edition that you have. So we're just going to take a minute. I'm just going to show you briefly. For instance, I published an article, and it was a co-author, published an article in the NALA Facts and Findings Career 101. So I'm just going to switch a little bit and kind of show you how in MLA style, how it would be cited on your resume. Okay, so we are going to type this in MLA style. We're going to cite it in MLA style. So we're going to start with, and please forgive me, I am on my cell phone doing this, so just bear with me. We're going to start with the the last name plus the first name, Lucinda, and this is co-authored. So I'm going to put the middle initial. If the person has one, put it. But when you add on the second co-author, you're going to add their first name and then their last name. Then once you add their first and last name, there's going to be a period. And then the name of the title of the article, which is Bait Stamping Tips. Then you're going to put your parentheses there. Oh, let's put your period in the parentheses, space. And the title of the magazine should be italicized, which is NALA Facts and Findings. And then it was in the Career 101 issue that came out in January. You're going to put your date abbreviated, the year it was published. You don't necessarily have to put the exact date because most magazines don't have exact dates, like January 1st, 2020. It's normally going to be like January 2020. And then you're going to put your colon to separate the page number. The page number is going to come next. You don't have to put P. I believe you can put P period, but in this case, you can just put the page number and then you can select print. So when the person who is viewing your resume looks at your citation, they'll know that this here magazine was co-authored by two individuals, the title name, the magazine it can be found in, along with the month and the year that it was published. In addition to, it'll let them know the page number and also the print. So, but that's pretty much it for the citation. But again, if you're citing in a journal, if it's a journal that you are that you have written an article in or published an article, the citation is going to be a little bit different. But again, I mean, it shouldn't be that much of a difference, being if you use MLA or APA style. Pretty much should be the same, but it'll be just a little bit different since it's a journal. Thank you for taking the time to view this video. We hope it has increased your knowledge on how published articles helped build your resume. Should you have an article that you wish NALA to publish, you may submit your article to NALA's Facts and Finding editor at editor@nala.org for consideration. Again, thank you for watching.